Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Now let's get into today's video. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Crossing the Line. And we knew it was coming, but the left has really lost the plot this time. And it's just proving that they are going after people's kids, they are going after children. And they are trying to bring the so-called maps into the LGBTQ. And it's disgusting. There's no other word around it. But we've got a story here from Timcast News. Transgender identifying Minnesota representative seeks to redefine pedophilia language in state law. Now, anytime they try to redefine the language, they give themselves more power. Language and the words we use are, put it this way, they are the most important thing. It is imperative that what you say, what we say, what words you use are the same that they have always been. If you go and call someone a Nazi, generally that brings up ideas of 1940s Germany, Hitler, SS, the whole shebang. Now when you call someone a Nazi, that can just mean that they don't agree with you, or that they have differing opinions on things like abortion rights, vaccine mandates, all sorts of things. So language is very important, and the words we use keep getting changed every day. It used to be called a baby rapist. Now it's called a pedophile. The language weakens over time. Now they're trying to change that to minor attracted persons. And people like this person are seeking to make life easier for pedophiles. And I just don't see that as a worthy goal. I don't know anyone who does. And it makes you really question what their actual motives are. But we'll take a quick look at this story from Timcast here. Transgender identifying Minnesota representative seeks to redefine pedophilia language in state law. Of course, pedophilia is not a sexual orientation. Minnesota State Representative Leah Fink, who identifies as a transgender woman, introduced a bill seeking a removal of a language that associates pedophilia with a person's sexual orientation from the state's Human Rights Act. Fink's Take Pride Act, introduced earlier this year, seeks to strike languages that currently states pedophiles are not included in the protections based on sexual orientation. Minnesota Human Rights Act currently protects discrimination based on sexual orientation and defines the term as having being or perceived as having an emotional, physical, or sexual attachment to other persons without regard to the sex of that person or being perceived as having the orientation for such attachment or having or being perceived as having self-imagery or identified non-traditionally associated with one's biological maleness or femaleness. Binks counters the state's Human Rights Act as Minnesota representative claims the measure updates outdated language that incorrectly ties pedophilia to a person's sexual orientation. Nothing in the bill changes or weakens any crimes against children or the state's ability to prosecute those who break the law, Binks said in a statement to Fox News Digital. Of course, pedophilia is not a sexual orientation. Well, what else is it then? Is it what are they trying to say? It's a mental illness? Are they trying to weaken the stance around it so that they can receive the same rights as normal human beings that aren't baby rapers? What is their end goal here? And I think, well, that's a silly question, really. I think we all know what their end goal is. The language never should have been included in the statutory definition of the first place. Fink continued. Crimes against children are located in the Minnesota criminal statutes again, and they remain unchanged. The Take Pride Act further seeks to include the definition of gender identity as a person's inherent sense of being man, woman, both, or neither. A person's gender identity may or may not correspond to their assigned sex at birth and their primary or secondary sex characteristics. A person's gender identity is not necessarily visible to others. Maybe not. But do you know what is very visible to others is being a pedophile. And I don't care if you get offended about having a pedophile linked to your cause or anything like that. because it is a sexual orientation, obviously, because that's the only thing they want from children. It's not like they're just after friendships and that, is it? That's kind of the main problem, is that they're sexually attracted to children, isn't it? Fink's measures have incorporated into the Judiciary Policy Omnibus Bill stated for the consideration of the House floor today, according to one Minnesota House source. GOP House Minority Leader Lisa Dumoth told the outlet, Fink and the Democrats' push to strike language for the state's Human Rights Act was disturbing and inexplicable. Under the Human Rights Act, the definition of sexual orientation says that the sexual orientation does not include a physical or sexual attraction to children by an adult. Dumoth said, adding, more simply described pedophilia. The measure also sees to strike the language from Minnesota's Human Rights Act, not noting sexual orientation does not include a physical or sexual attachment to any children by adult. House Republicans will be presenting an amendment today to clarify that pedophilia is absolutely not a protected class under the Human Rights Act. We sincerely hope Democrats will join us in ensuring our children are protected, Demuth added. Well, at least someone's standing up for them. I mean, if they're going and trying to remove negative connotations in law, just around the wording of it, what is their end goal with that? Why are you trying to make pedophiles sound better than they are, so they don't get offended, so that they have afforded some sort of human rights? I mean, if you're a pedophile, you're basically not human, and you don't have any rights at that point. People like to come up with all sort of wood chipper arguments around how to deal with them, and I don't think that's far from the truth. But when people like this, it's always the left, it's always a transgender person or a non-binary person or something like that. Why are you always pushing for pedophiles to be accepted? Why are you pushing for laws to be weakened around them? Why are you pushing for them to be included in protections? I don't think anyone should ever really want to include a pedophile in any sort of protection. And the reason that the law states that to begin with there in Minnesota is because of what they do to children. Children need to be protected, not pedophiles. People like this person here really doubt they have children's best interests at heart. It's more of their own political ideology and brainwashing that they want to get done. And they want you to pretend that pedophiles are just normal members of the rainbow mafia, I'd say. LGBTQ 2+P, whatever it's going to be when you guys are done with it. I don't think that's going to go ahead anyway. The Republicans seem to have nailed that coffin shut on that case. But people that, I mean, take a look at it. Like, people that are out there actively promoting to help pedophiles and give them more rights and freedoms and make people accept them, they should be put on a watch list if they aren't already. And we need to keep a close eye on those kind of people, because there's only one reason that you are trying to make life better for pedophiles and make it so that they're socially acceptable. I saw a video the other day on Twitter of a school teacher, like primary school at least, and she was talking to, I think, like 13-year-olds or something like that. And she was telling the children not to call them pedophiles anymore, that to call them MAPs, because pedophiles is derogatory. I vote that we be as derogatory as we want to pedophiles. And calling them MAPs is just weakening the language around it and making it more socially acceptable. And I think that's what these people want at the end of the day, is for it to be socially acceptable to harm children. I mean, they're harming children in other ways by neutering them, castrating them, cutting off their breasts, putting them on hormone blockers, psychotic drugs, and training them to think that they're a non-binary unicorn pony. But sexualizing children with strip shows, sexualizing them with all sorts of disgusting things that you've seen all over the internet lately, it is getting out of hand. And when they're trying to push through legislation and change legal binding documents or protections around children, and they're trying to give protections to pedophiles. I mean, it's kind of on the nose there. You know what their agenda is there, don't you? So thanks for watching, guys. We'll keep an eye on this story there in Minnesota and see if anything like that happens around here locally, because that's something to really keep an eye on. That will put pitchforks in people's hands and get them in the streets when you go after people's children. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.